recommend and encourage you to double, triple take everything. Now, a certain range of motion and different training things, those types of things, you can go and double and triple check me, but that's what you're paying me for. I don't need you to go and do that second, third, and fourth opinion, but you can. I have no problem doing that. I'm trying to cut some work out for you. That's what you hired me for. If I can cut out thousands of hours and thousands of research and study time for you guys, fuck, you might as well. Life's busy enough as it is. But if you just want to double and triple check because you're OCD like I am, great, go for it. Just ask the right people, please. Ask the experts. And if they come up with different varying information, we'll sit down and we'll see if there really are a conflict of interest things, or if it's just because it's a different program or whatever, or they just teach that movement just a little bit different. Doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. Their range of motion might still be right. Mine still might be right, but it might just be a tweak, right? There's nothing wrong with that either. And that's why I show you guys different angles and different grips and different this and that and the other thing. And of course, the individual, this person might do that exercise and that body part might respond phenomenally. And this other person might not really respond that well in their biceps. And they might do this other bicep exercise and go completely opposite. This guy over here that wasn't getting very good results on the preachers, machine might get great results on this free weight preacher, or the grip might bother this person and not the other person. There's so many variables that can go into it. And that's why, of course, you got to listen to your own body, and if you're working with somebody, kind of give him or her your input. Hey, so I'm really, unless they're type of shut up and do what I tell you to do, right? Which I'm not like that. When I hear that this really gets a good pump, that one really doesn't, I'm gonna take heed to that, and it could be just the day we might be doing a certain movement where the pump is not really necessary. We're going for an overall personal record, personal best. You may or may not feel a pump, right? Especially if it's a low rep, right? So there might be reasons for that. I may be, well, yeah, it's because we did 1,000 reps on that exercise. We did one over here, so the one rep, you're probably going to get a much better pump on the 1,000, right? Common sense. Two different exercises. You might not know that, though. So you put that bug in whoever's ear it is, training partner, workout partner, personal trainer, coach, whatever, and, you're going to know your own body better than anybody else if you don't already, over time. And so to report those types of things as you're starting to pay attention to them is great. And plus, by verbally speaking it into existence, hey, I got great results out of this, you're kind of reinforcing and reminding yourself verbally what works and what doesn't work for the day that you got to come in on your own and do something by your damn self, right? And you don't have access to your buddy, your training partner, or your personal trainer. His phone, her phone. It might be freaking, it might be off, might have fallen in the toilet, right? It might have fallen over an overpass. A significant other might have smashed it up against the wall or smashed it with a rock, right? You don't know. Or the person just might be out of town for a day and you had a quick question and they're not able to answer it, right? And so as you learn more, you become more self-sufficient. It's gonna just help you for those emergency situations, right? So, I don't know. This has been Showtime. Showtime Shred Fitness over here. Are we going up in weight? Are we going down in weight? Fuck if I know. I'm gonna play around for a couple of weeks, and I'm just gonna kind of let my instinct take over. I went to church for the first time this morning in about, I don't know. And it's usually the opposite. Usually I got to talk my wife into going to church. Well, this time she talked me into it. It's a complete flip around. The main reason I did that is because I'm losing my mind. Because, I've heard that fucking heaven's the size of Australia. No more than that. Well, fuck, there goes my chances. I ain't getting in there. So I've kind of lost interest in going, because and also if I do get in there, it's gonna be crowded, right? And I hate crowds. I'm claustrophobic, right? And so I'm just kind of bummed out and stuff. So I just kind of said to heck with the whole thing for now. I'm gonna take a break from the whole church thing, but my wife talked me into going, and so, the pastor was saying today, always pray about stuff. So maybe I'll be doing some. Well, I already started actually. I already prayed earlier today, and I'll do it again every day until I figure it out. Do I coast? Do I bulk? Do I chop? Of course, they say don't do things on social media. I think there's an exception to policy. In my case, of course, as a coach and an athlete, my goal is I'm an old guy. I don't care about titles and a lot of this shit anymore, right? I care about you guys, and so I throw out videos to educate and motivate and inspire and this and that and the other thing, and so I do publicize before I even make a decision. Sometimes I'll make the decision, sometimes I won't. Because y'all are part of that journey and that thought process and stuff. So I kind of aid you guys along in trying to maybe get a spark going on what it is that you want to do. So maybe somebody's opinion is you should chop, and maybe it's because I'm coaching them and they want me to chop along with them because they're more inspired by that. So I might say, fuck it, alright, I'll chop with you, I don't care, or maybe like, man, I want to book up, and I want you to do it with me, so I got somebody to kind of do it with. If I got nothing else to do, I might say, fuck it, alright, I'll try to gain 10 or 30 pounds this month, right? Might as well, nothing else to do, so those kinds of things can play into it. Now, obviously, everything's going to go to the fucking waste, so I don't need to pray about it, I already know that I got Jesus' permission, because sometimes he's the one that just fucking stimulates that, right? Time to do a show, and it's just there's a voice in the head that won't go let me sleep, and it won't let me do anything right until I actually take action. Well, yeah, in that case, I don't need to pray because he's already told me to do it, right? He's already told me to go compete in this show or get leaner because maybe I'm not breathing well at night, and it might cause me to suffocate, right? So he's kind of putting that in there. If I can lose some weight, get on stage, get healthy, and compete, right? Or you might tell me, man, you're getting too fucking skinny, man, and fucking these guys you're training are trying to get big, and you're sitting here cruising, or you're coming over here shredded for no reason, you're not even competing. Why don't you put some size on and show them how it's done, and throw 400 and something pounds on, or 500 something pounds on upper body, and show them how that looks, what that looks like, so they get in their minds that they can do it too, because 100 pounds is not going to do much, okay? Or 10-pound dumbbells is not going to do anything at all. And 100 pounds might work a little bit, but 200 or 300 pounds overhead press is going to be more beneficial than 100 if the shoulders aren't hurting, right? And you do over 1,000 pounds on certain leg press or shrugs or rack pulls or whatever, something's going to grow, right? So you got to show them how to do it sometimes so that they don't think it's impossible. And there's something different. I don't care what you say. Some people can be inspired by a video. I'm going to do that. But a lot of times it takes them a lot longer, right? But if you're in the gym grinding with them, and this motherfucker puts on 10 plates on each side, and you got 2, fuck, I got a ways to go. This is fucking embarrassing. And all of a sudden you're up to 5 or 6. Well, how many months or years would have been taking you if you weren't training alongside of this lion, right? And that's what happened to me. I had to freaking throw in with the fucking lions, with fucking Steven Hassan and fucking T-Bone Tyler Merrill, where these guys are doing, I would do a plate or 2 on the fucking hack squats, because I don't really like to train legs, and these motherfuckers throw the plate on, like, alright, I'm rolling with these guys. 2 plates, it's getting a little hard now. All of a sudden we're to 7, I'm like, god dang, I got ways to go, right? And so within a couple of weeks or so, I was doing 7 plates on each side also. But I had to see somebody do it first, like, oh, it's possible. I just got to put my mind into it. Get embarrassed a couple of times. And now, okay, now I can do this by myself because I know it can be done. Because I was thrown into the bus and I had to do it, right? But there's no judgment there. If that's all you can do is 25 pounds on each side, that's all you can do. But if you can keep up with the fucking leader of the pack, right? Leader of the wolf pack, the king lion that's the fucking, you know who that is, right? If you train with a top power lifter like Kennelly, all you got to do is, where's the biggest guy in here that's taking up, half the gym? Oh, there he is. You can't miss him, right? Or the lion is a fucking big bodybuilder. He's fucking, some because in small towns, you usually got a couple in every gym, right? And even some of the big cities, where is it? Usually not all hanging out at once, right? Different times, different cities, different things. It just seemed to be overpopulated because you got social media and you got the fucking magazines and shit, that has everybody all in one spot. And it's not like that in real life. In real life, it's not just the norm like fucking social media makes it look, and then you got filters and everything else, which I don't use, okay? But you got one or two fucking kings of the jungles, or the leader of the pack, the fucking wolf pack, in every gym, and at one time usually, to have a treat where you got a whole pack of lions, in one little setting is usually a treat. That's like an honor. Usually you find out, okay, well, they held a big event where they were, having a fucking convention in there, right? Or a ceremony where they were indicting, the top fucking guys, what do you call it, the Hall of Fame, right? Hall of Fame power lifters or bodybuilders or strongmen, right? They have that more in powerlifting than anything else, right? That Hall of Fame. But they have it, sometimes at the Mr. Olympia they called, like when I went to watch Phil Heath and Kai Green go to battle, right? And they almost got a fight on stage. You guys remember that? I think the year was 2014. I was present at that. I saw that thing, and then fucking, Arnold and Franco and all those guys, they were all called down the stage. And, Franco and Arnold going back and forth, just like the old days. And that was pretty neat to watch that live and shit, But, there's a reason for it, that was the fucking 50-year anniversary, for crying out loud, of the Mr. Olympia competition. It was a big deal. So you're only going to have certain champions all in the same place at very special events. Otherwise, these guys are reclusive, man. They're like, a lot of them are like the fucking Shadow, the real true champions that aren't trying to do it for the fame and fortune and glam and slam and this and that and the other thing. That just come out on social media every day and use filters and makeup and all this crap, right? I'm not saying all people on social media are like that, right? But there's these guys that don't even like the limelight, man. They're fucking like Dorian Yates, the Shadow. That fucking guy hung out in the dungeon, man. He only showed his presence when it was time to compete, and then he disappeared again. Fucker was hard to even get a hold of for interviews and photo shoots and stuff. And he was the top dog, he was the reigning Mr. Olympia like 5 years and all this other stuff. Top dog out of everybody, okay? And he liked that dungeon and atmosphere, and there's a lot of old school guys that are like that. That's why you don't always see these guys that are training in these, perky conditions and all science-y with the test tube trainers and all these types of things. Those old school physiques were that way for a reason, because they sacrificed and they did a lot of things a lot of other people didn't like to do. They didn't do it for the glam and all this other stuff and the fame and all that stuff. They did it for other reasons, right? Because they loved it. And you still get a lot of those guys today, don't get me wrong, but you also get a lot of goofballs. Like this anabolic duck was calling him a clown, right? They were just going all off of the supplements and getting these skinny guys right out of this and that, and then right into the drugs. And a lot of people feel that that's a step beyond, that you kind of have to, you don't get the drugs before the gym membership. You get the gym membership years before the drugs, right? And that's something that it's a case-by-case individual basis. But I'm telling you, don't jump into it, because that line once you cross, you ain't coming back, probably, right? You could be wrong. Some people do jump across and go, I'm going to go back. But sometimes some mental things go with it, depression and this and that. And if you don't know PCT and all this stuff, and with PCT, sometimes people have complications, right? I don't know. I don't judge the guy for any reason. He's probably making money doing what he's doing, and he's, in the video, and, I've seen people do a lot worse for money than that, right? So, Is it moral, ethical, even legal? Not really. But at least the basis is still, as long as he's, I haven't seen the video yet, as long as he's still, getting embedded in people's heads that the weights don't move themselves, and that you still got to put in the work. And it's still on the basis of, hard work and honor and integrity and discipline, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like it's just about drugs, and drugs are success, and it's not true. Success does not come in a bottle, and where he said, any routine you have, any, training, secret, no matter what it is, no matter how intense it is, how high tech it is, it's going to work better on drugs. You know what? I back him on that. If you don't have complications with it, it doesn't get you injured, doesn't fuck you up, and you're able to stay on and you're safe with it and things like that. Yeah, duh, no brainer. You're going to have a better result with than without, but I still feel like you're going to get a better long-term result if you first do everything you can clean before you cross that line. And even that, it's such a moral, legal, and ethical issue with a lot of people that I still don't encourage it. I say, do your praying and be okay with your own body, your own mind. It comes down to you. Are you able to live with yourself based off of those decisions? If you've done all the work and you have the root system, great. You want to do it, I ain't going to judge you, right? And a lot of people aren't in this day and age, right? Now that we know more about it and everything, right? But we still feel like you got to earn it first, right? Us old school guys and gals. And again, it's your body, it's your choice. I'm still thinking of not just your health, but your long-term, your short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. So I still think you're still better off doing clean for as long as you can first. I just still think you're going to be happy with yourself, but more importantly, happier with the results. More sustainable long-term results with doing it for the right reasons first. And then if you want to throw in a little bit of the high-tech sports technology, and you've looked at the risk-to-benefit ratio and all these other types of, things, and your decision is, to use sports technology to your advantage, and you're going to go about it as safe as possible, I don't really see a problem with that. And there are people that will, and they'll judge you, and they'll do that, but fuck them, because most of those motherfuckers